What is up, guys? So today I'm gonna confess my sins, or at least some of them. You know, if I was gonna confess them all, I'd be here all day. So I've been watching YouTube, and what a surprise! Another bare knuckle fighter has been done for beating up women, beat his girlfriend up, beat his ex-girlfriend up, beat the dog up. I mean, who does that? But it seems to be a requirement in these bare knuckle fighters. Do you know what I mean? You have to have a charge of beating up women. The only one really that I can think of that hasn't done it is Paul Venice. I mean, all the others. I mean, Christie beat his mum up. Decker just sexual assault. The Swan beating women up. There's just loads of them, man. Shadow Bacon, a known rapist. They're all bare knuckle fighters, and they're all wrong-uns. It's bizarre. But anyway, we're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk about my sins. Now, you can call me a crackhead, thief, junkie, loser. There's no way around it, you know. I used to be a drug addict, and it's as simple as that. I can't get around that. But nobody can call me a wrong-un because I've never hurt a woman. There's always this thing with, mental health. Like the Swan, he was preaching ADHD, and I used to root for him, you know. I thought, good on you. And they always turn this mental health card, like Decker as well. Oh, the trolls, me mental health. I suffer with mental health, right? I've been to the depths of hell in my life. Homeless, heroin addict, alcoholic. You know what I mean? And I have never hurt a woman. I've never even thought about it. I've been a scumbag, I've been a thief, but I've never been a wrong-un. So you can't blame mental health. But anyway, let's get into it. Now, I'm not condoning my actions. There's a lot of people out there that when you talk about thieving, they were like, oh yeah, I used to be the best car thief in Donny. And I just think, what a fucking loser. I'm not proud of my past. I'm deeply embarrassed. I'm deeply ashamed. And I can't do anything about it, you know. Drugs made me into a thief. Drugs made me into a horrible thief. It's as simple as that. And the things I did, I can't take it back. All I can do is talk about it, try and show people, you know, that you're not alone. And the way I see it is I owe a debt to society. So that's why I make these videos, to try and atone for my sins. Now, when I was a heroin addict, I used to shoplift. I was terrible at it. I used to get caught all the time, in and out of prison. So I thought, I've got to do something different here. So I started doing commercial burglaries. And what I used to do is I used to go around office blocks, and I would sneak in through the fire door if it was a hot day. And I would go into an empty office if somebody was out having dinner or whatever, and I'd take the laptop. And that was my thing. That's what I used to do. But I was terrible at that as well, because obviously I looked like a junkie, so I was always getting caught. So what I did was I changed it up, and I started wearing a shirt and tie, trousers, and slicked my hair back. And honest to God, it was like a invisibility cloak. I was able to walk into places what I wouldn't have got anywhere near if I didn't have a shirt and tie on. And I could just walk in, and people would say, "Ah, you're right." I'd be like, "Yeah." And then I would walk around the aisles, wait till there's an empty room, go in and steal the laptop, and then get away. And that's what I did for a long time. And my problem was, I always got away with it at the scene, you know. But there's cameras, and when you're a drug addict, you don't care about cameras. It's like, I need money now, so I'm just gonna get what I need to get and get out of there. I don't care about the cameras. But then when you do get caught eventually, usually like for a shoplifting, or, you know, if coppers like recognise me, because all the coppers knew who I was back then, and they'd pull you in, and that's when it would hit you, and you'd be sat in your cell, and they would come to your door and say, "Oh, come to the desk, we need to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh no." And then they'd go to the desk and say, "Right, we were arresting you for like 6 burglaries, commercial burglaries." And then that's when they'd get you all at once. And I remember back then there was a stipendiary magistrate, and I went, everybody used to say when there was under court, they'd say, "Oh, who's the judge today?" And if they said it was a stipendiary, they'd be like, "Oh no, that's it, none of us are getting bail." And I remember he said to me a direct quote from Porridge. I didn't know it at the time, but it was a quote from Porridge. He says, society has earned a break from your actions. What were it now? Prison for you is an occupational hazard. And it was. And, you know, he sent me to Crown Court and I ended up getting 4 years for commercial burglaries. And you'll never hear me moaning about it. You know, I've always been treated fairly on our system. I think these days it's ridiculous. I saw a video the other day. Some guy beat a copper up, broke his eye socket and got a 6 month suspended sentence. I'm like, you don't beat cops up. You know, everybody knows if you beat a cop up, you're done. You're getting 10 years. But now, you don't get no. It's ridiculous. But yeah, you'll never hear me moaning about getting sent to prison because I've always been treated fairly. You know my stance on prison. It's not a nice place. It's crap. It's boring. It's depressing. But I've always been treated fairly. I might talk about my experiences, but you know, I always sit in my cell, do my time, and if I get caught on camera, I'll just admit it, and then I'll go to prison and do my time. But yeah, that's what I used to do when I was a heroin addict, shoplifting all the time. I've caused a lot of misery over my years, and people don't realise that when you get clean from drugs and alcohol, that's when the hard part begins. You know, you've got to live with like the depression, you've got to live with the shame and the embarrassment of knowing that I used to be that guy. I used to be a thief. I caused a lot of people problems. And I guess me talking about it, this is what helps me. And hopefully, if people are watching this video, they can say, yeah, well, you know, I've been through the same thing. And there's no excuse for stealing off people, but that's what addiction does. It takes everything. Addiction has took everything from me. And I mean everything. I've lost, it starts off with money, belongings, then you start losing your friends, then you lose your liberty, your respect, then you start losing your family, until you end up nothing. And in my case, I ended up homeless on the street with literally nothing. But anyway, that's my sins from the past. Drug addict, junkie, thief, lowlife, scumbag, yeah. But wrong'un, nope. And there's no excuse for being a wrong'un. You can blame mental health, you know, you can, there's no excuse for it. And these wrong'uns, they shouldn't be on YouTube. They're not trying to help no one. They're just trying to cash in on being infamous. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you're struggling, get in the comment sections. I always interact with people. Let me know your story. And if you're really struggling mentally, why not make a YouTube channel? I'm struggling at the minute with my YouTube channel because I can't get my bank details verified. I did it all wrong because I didn't know what I was doing. I put my bank details in and it didn't accept it. So now the more I delve into it, the more complicated it becomes. But anyway, no one cares about that. If you enjoyed this video, press the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, get in the comment section, let me know what you think about all these YouTube wrong'uns. Bonjour.